It's live.
Hello everyone, good evening. Alchemist and I are here and we are going to give you a pretty good show today. Want to tell them what it's about, Alchemist?
We're going to talk about, first of all, let me say peace, Hotep, Islam, Alafia.
Blessings.
Greetings to all is well. What's up? What up? You got nothing to say? You got no greetings?
No, greetings.
I don't know, try to give people time to check in, man, before I jump in. Give people time to get up in here. We're just going live right now at 8:05, so no matter what, they'll be able to see it.
That's right.
I'm going to talk about some, I guess, I don't know, it's science. The science of the mind. We talk about that. I'm very big on the mind. I'm very big on maintaining the mind. Once you lose your mind, that's it. You know how they say we out of our minds, and you must be crazy, you out of your mind, you out of your cotton picking mind. You know, that term right there, man, that's crazy by itself.
That's absolutely disrespectful.
Once you lose your mind, that's it. You can lose anything material, you can lose anything in the physical realm, but your mind is the most precious thing that's been given to you. You know what I'm saying? You lose your mind, that's a wrap. Man, I'd rather, I don't know, I ain't trying to put no ill will out there, but you lose anything.
That always happens.
Yo, you'd rather lose, I know that always happens. You'd rather lose a lot of things in your mind. Hey Jay, what's up? Peace. Hey Stacy, what's up? Try to get people time to come in, man.
Hey sisters.
Yeah, man, but I'm real big on the mind. That's why I like to talk about mentalism. Oh, I see what you got you. I like talking about mentalism because we live in our minds first before we live anywhere else. You could lift it up. We live in our minds first before we live anywhere else. Physically, we can have multiple addresses. You can live state to state, place to place, address to address. Mm-hmm. But the one place where you're gonna have a permanent address is in your mind. And believe me, that's not where you want to be evicted. That's not funny, right?
Well, it's the truth. Actually, my mom had Alzheimer's, but we realized in the beginning stages we didn't understand what was going on. But when she realized she was lapsing in memory and lapsing in conversations and stuff like that, I could tell she was in her mind somewhere trying to figure it out, but she couldn't, really get it together. And we would say, hey, what are you talking about? She goes, no, never mind. But she was in there. And even in the last stages, she was still in there.
Yo, that's crazy because the mind, as powerful as the mind is still fragile. It's real fragile. It's powerful, but it's fragile at the same time. That's why you got to do everything possible to safeguard and protect your mind.
Right.
You don't want to be out of your mind. You don't want to be labeled as out of your mind. We're going to talk about tonight the gateways into altered states of consciousness. What we call science today in ancient times of the past was called magic. Right? Or magi. With science today, for those who might be familiar with quantum physics, science is actually confirming what practitioners and sages and mystics and shamans have been saying for years about how things are changed on a subatomic level. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to change something, things never change from outside influence. It changed from within.
Right.
For an individual or person to change, you can't do nothing to make a person change.
That's true.
Change happens from within.
That's true. Young people in relationships learn that the hard way.
Yeah, you can't force somebody to
change.
Nah, you can try to alter things and put yourself on their mind, but you really can't change nobody. Change comes from the person or within. So science is starting to agree. What we've been telling them the whole time, but what we call science today ain't nothing but magic. It's the same thing, right? So, like I said, things have changed from a subatomic level, and then we see it on a larger scale. What I want to say, it's the word I want to say when I say I'm on a subatomic level and then on a larger scale. This has been proven because at the basis of that change is consciousness. Is consciousness. For those who might be familiar with quantum physics, right? There was an experiment called the two-slit experiment, a two-slit theory. If I'm wrong, you can go back and research it and get it right. I'm never to the point where I can't be corrected. But it was a two-slit experiment, right? Where they had like a machine that was shooting photons, right? And it was two slits on like a metal plate, right? And it was shooting photons. They turned it on, it was shooting photons. As they noticed, as the photons went through the two slits, right? That it was all kind of crazy patterns, right? Oh, yeah, but when they paid attention to the photons, when they started going through the two slits, right? They noticed that they were more in line. And it was like, it was a whole different pattern from it being observed and not being observed. Right. So the being observed, right, which they called the observer, which in, spirituality, we would call the higher self, the observer, the essence mind, divine mind. There's so many things that we call it, right? The true essence of who you are. So it's observation, or the higher self, or consciousness, right, that changes things at a subatomic level, right? And then we see that happen. So one of the most talked about subjects in the metaphysical field, the spiritual field today, is how man has the ability to alter and change his reality, right? And this is done by the mind. You know what I'm saying? By using thoughts. Where thought goes, energy flows. This is why I said, a minute ago, we got to safeguard our thoughts. Right. You know what I'm saying? You got to be mindful of your thoughts, because you want to bring no discord or distractions to yourself or to nobody else. Because, what you think about yourself is going to determine your reality, right? But at the same time, what you're projecting out, if you got low self-esteem and you projecting that out to people going to look at you, as below them. Right. You know what I'm saying? If you think like a victim all the time, and what you're sending out, you're going to attract predators in return.
Absolutely.
That's what I say.
Well, yeah, because like going back to what you were saying, how that's called putting it out into the universe. Basically, intentions start here. Intentions, actions, perception, reflection. That's how it all works out. It's like a ping pong type of theory. And it starts from here. It really does. Everything starts from there. You ever see a baby? We have a baby here in the house. She's 6 months old. And she's already understanding how to get hand-eye coordination. It's all in her mind. She knows what she wants to do. We think that those babies don't know. Right. But she already knows what she wants to do with her hands, and what she's trying to grab is all in the mind. The mind is, personally, you have to strengthen your mind. I know people, y'all go through a lot of things. We all go through a lot of things. But depression is a dis-ease. I'm not saying a disease. It's a dis-ease of the mind. It's uneasy. It makes you uneasy. So it goes from here and then it travels here. Okay, and you have to take care of it all. And depression is something that you can control. They're giving you medication for something that you can control. It's all about how you think about things and what your perception is.
Wow, they say every disease starts in the mind first, right? Every illness starts in the mind.
Like we say the word disease and we're thinking something medical, but it's a dis-ease.
Dis-ease, right?
It's uneasiness of something. Something in the system is uneasy.
Okay. So when it comes to changing or altering physical reality, it is done from what we call the altered state of consciousness. It's the same science as doing a ritual. It takes place in the mind first. It's powered by the law of attraction, and it's powered by the law of mentalism that says that all is mind, the universe is mental. Right? So what we're doing is mental magic. Right? And it's a manipulation of energy or mental energy to bring about a physical outcome
Yep.
or whatever you want. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? So, like I say, doing a ritual, right? For those who might be familiar with like candle work, right? Not even just candle work, just doing a ritual in general. It's based on the intention of the mind.
Candle work is the easiest thing you can think of because that's basically the basis of where people start.
Yeah,
They start
right.
with candle work. A lot of the time they start with candle
right.
work and don't realize the how the magic works until they become experts in it, so to speak.
Right,
when
right.
you become when you're not a novice anymore, you seem to perfect how to send your thought process to where you're trying to take it. Such as, you don't need the whole name of a person if you're going to do candle work on them, whether it's positive or negative. All you
Right.
need to see is their face, hear their voice or whatever, and you can project your magic towards that person, whether it's positive or negative. Doesn't always have to be bad.
So in other words, when you're doing a ritual, you're really going into an altered state
Going to
of consciousness. And you know, like I've seen certain rituals where I've seen certain practitioners that like to dress the role and dress the position of the ritual
absolutely.
that they're bringing about. We've seen that a lot in ancient cultures, like in Africa and things like that, where they have certain
masks
and colorings on their
Makeup.
face and things like that. Or you might be told to wear a certain color for a certain ritual.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You might have music playing. All that takes you to an altered state of consciousness. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much what an altered state of consciousness is it's an alternate awareness that is different from your normal awakening or your normal thinking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that chatter. Like if you quiet yourself right now, if you just pay attention to what's going on right now in your head, it's a million thoughts, a million ideas. It's so much. Yo, I gotta do this. Oh, I gotta feed the kids. Yo, I gotta get ready for work. Oh, I gotta take the trash. I gotta do all this and that. All that's running back and forth in your head. Ga. That's chatter.
You know what?
And meditation is called a monkey mind.
Right.
It's called a monkey mind.
It brings it down.
Right. It's called a monkey mind in meditation, right? And that's, to me, that's considered conscious mind. You know, right? So when we talk about the alternative or altered state of consciousness, I'm talking subconscious, right? So the thing is, we got to quiet that monkey. We got to make that monkey sit down because he's jumping all around and bouncing around. You know what I'm saying? In our head, and you know, we got thoughts everywhere. But the thing is, to get into that state of an altered, you know what I'm saying, consciousness, because remember, it's the observation, it's the consciousness that changes things at a subatomic level.
Right.
So what science is saying now, going back, they're saying, okay, you practitioners, you spiritualists, y'all shaman, man, y'all was right. We see now that anything that was ever changed, you know what I'm saying, on a level of spirituality, was done from the aspect of an altered state of mind.
Right.
But this is something that we always knew.
Right.
Whether it's in the form of meditation, like we were saying, it was in the form of ritual, even in the form of, like I said before, candle work, right?
Right.
A lot of times when I do my candle work, I like to stare into the flame. And for those who y'all familiar with like different states of the mind and things like that, it's like the alpha state of consciousness, right? It's the same science when you go to a movie theater. You know what I'm saying? When you're watching a movie and you're in a dark room, but the light of the projection in the screen is flickering. Right. You know what I'm saying? You're watching a movie, but nothing else going on around you matters.
Right.
Your phone, what you got going on at the house, and that, because you're locked into what you're watching on that screen. That's an altered state of consciousness.
Yes, it is.
You know what I'm saying? But you gotta be careful what you're watching.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because remember how the subconscious minds work. It'll take something that's fictional as a movie and accept it as reality, and then in return create that in your life.
How many people, like when they go to Comic-Con, like we talked about
Dragon
before,
Con? Yeah.
Comic-Con,
Same
Dragon
thing,
Con,
yeah.
all of that stuff, they turn into these people. We're about to go into Halloween. They really turn into these people.
Man.
They get dressed. Same thing, like we said, we talked about this before on another live video, when people dress up for their ceremonies, any ceremony. You understand what I'm saying? Women get dressed up as brides for their ceremony of their wedding.
Right.
You understand? So she stepped into the role of somebody she wasn't before that day. You understand?
Never thought
it
about
does.
it like that.
You know, you playing a role, and you know, it happens with every ceremony. That's who you are right then and there. If you're dancing, you're turning into whatever you're dancing about. You know, people dance. They flowers, they're all kinds of things, animals and stuff. They turn into that. Acting is a good way of.
Right. Think about actors like Jamie Foxx. When he played Ray. You know what I'm saying? It's like he wasn't Jamie Foxx no more. He actually became the
Ray
character
Charles.
that he played.
Right.
Will Smith when he played Ali. Mm-hmm. He wasn't Will anymore. He actually became Ali.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think Hollywood, occult Hollywood, do some things like that behind the scene where they put certain actors through certain rituals and certain courses where they actually can tap into the energy and the spirit of a person that they're playing that's either dead or still living. You can still tap into some of the energy if they're living. You know what I'm saying? So that is a little Hollywood secret that got out. You know what I'm saying? But
you know what else I was thinking about? For those of y'all that are familiar with music, there's a group called Loose Ends. Everybody loves Loose Ends, right? And when they speak in an English accent. But when they sing, they sound like they're from this side of the water. Wow. And it's because, it's a different state of mind. They're turning into somebody else. They're appealing to a certain type of people, so that's who they are at that point in time. But when the mic is off and they're interviewing and they're talking, they're back to being in their regular English selves, So that's another thing too. It's a whole different persona.
Wow. Yeah, altered state is real. So anytime you want to make a change, you got to get into these altered states. Now, I know we keep saying altered state, but we got to give you an example of what altered state says. Meditation, which is focused thought. Visualization, especially when it comes to doing ritual. Candle work, like I was saying.
Music, drum beats.
When doing candle work, especially if you're a fire sign, it's good for you to do candle work, right? Me personally, when I light a candle, whether it's for meditation or 7-day candle for whatever purpose, I like to stare into the flame, and I like to envision the outcome of what I want to come from, doing the ritual and things like that. Right. Visualization is real important. It's going to bring about that reality. You know what I'm saying? And you don't get jammed up with the wordplay. Like certain words out your mouth can jam you up. Like words like don't and I can't. Like the subconscious mind can't relate to those words.
Right.
So when you say I don't want to lose my house, I don't want to lose my job, I don't want to lose my marriage, I don't want to lose my money, it don't recognize don't. So what it's going to do, it's going to be like I want.
Right. It computes.
So when you say I don't, subconscious mind take it as I want, and then these situations are created in your life. So with visualization, it's pretty much like you take the words out of it and you just using your imagination to see what you want to bring about. That's why visualization is very important with all forms of mental magic. Let me say that. Visualization is real good. You know what I'm saying? They always tell you you want to not only think yourself rich, but you want to see yourself rich. You know what I'm saying?
This is why now there are popular things called vision boards.
Ooh, wow.
These vision boards are very popular now because people are tapping into their consciousness so that they can wake up every day and see what they're envisioning and what they're trying to achieve, and they see it every day, so they achieve it. And once you put something into a perspective like that, you make different moves. This is why as we're getting older, we're telling people, watch the company you keep. Because if you're hanging around people from your childhood, and that's great, you have childhood friends, and they're still doing the stuff that they were doing when they were in middle school and high school, you have to step away from those circles because that doesn't fit your life right now. Doesn't fit your life. So, you're going to outgrow that. Either you will or you won't. Because I can't say that everybody's going to outgrow it. So you have to change your mind and alter your state of mind to say, listen, there's something else that I need to do. There's other directions I need to go in. So that's what I tell people all the time.
Wow.
I changed that.
Yo, that's crazy. You said music a minute ago, right?
Right.
Music, getting caught up in a song, right? Or how many times you'll be alone, be in the shower and a song, you either hear a song or a song pop in your head by an artist that you like or whatever, and you like this song and you actually get to sing it knowing you can't sing a lick. But you can't, you bugging. Nah, you can't sing a lick. But the thing is, in your mind, you can't tell you that, what made you believe in your mind that you could really sing? You know what I'm saying?
But you see
you actually become that person that you're listening to.
They go to those competitions where they have to audition. And some
I
of
didn't
them
think
are
about
horrible.
that.
Some of those people are horrible, but they really went up there. You know, some of them are jokes. Some of them
Yeah.
are jokes, but some of them are so serious because in their mind and in their hearts, they see something like, take for instance, someone with anorexia. We see no fat deposits under the skin. They don't see that. Their perception is something totally different. This is why they do that. They look in the mirror and they see something different. You understand? You ever see somebody, some big mama out there in some spandex outfits? And she ain't supposed to be in them spandex outfits and she looks terrible, but you can't tell her she don't look good because that's what she believes. That's in her mind. That's her perception.
Right. Oh wow. Yeah, I mean, even with the singing thing, you could like be in your car and you could have somebody in the car next to you and they're singing their butt off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They probably can't sing a lick. You know what I'm saying?
But in their mind,
But in their mind,
heart,
but they didn't went into an altered state. You know what I'm saying? They actually becoming the person, you know, that they listening to. You know what I'm saying? Or you might come across a song that might take you back into something that went on in your past. It could be like a love situation, a romance situation. It could be a heartache. It could be a childhood memory. Anything, man. There's different songs that talk about different subjects. You know what I'm saying? And we come across certain songs that actually take you back.
It sure does.
You know
I
what
mean,
I'm saying?
you literally do a time travel in your mind.
Do a time travel in your mind, for real. That's why I say the mind. Let me tell you about the mind, man. The mind is...
I'm sorry, guys. I'm laughing because my kids are playing in the room next to us, and
Nobody
it's
paying no
hilarious to me.
Yeah, no bugging. Yo, I'm going to tell you about the mind. When it comes to the mind, time and distance doesn't exist. The mind is the only realm where you can close your eyes and instantly go somewhere without having to worry about time or distance. In the physical...
Dreamscape.
Oh, we're going to talk... Yeah, daydreaming. Right? Daydreaming is a form of an altered state of consciousness. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that... I mean, it is, but the thing that I don't like about daydreaming, what I try to catch myself from getting into that, to me, daydreaming is equivalent to leaving your windows and your doors open in your house. You know what I'm saying? Because when you daydreaming, you know what I'm saying? But you leaving your mind open, and any outside mental energy or influence can come in. Like if you leave your windows open and your doors open in your house, you know what I'm saying? Any intruder could walk up in there.
No security. No
security at all. So you want to always safeguard your mind or safeguard your thoughts, like I say. You know what I'm saying? Watching movies, like we say, it's an altered state of consciousness.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, yo, you'll get locked in something on TV and totally forget everything that's going on around you. That's when you know you done burnt up the rice. You done burn the rice. You done bunt the rice, as my grandmother say. Right? You done bunt the rice. You know what I'm saying? Phone ringing somewhere. Somebody outside trying to get in. You know what I'm saying? Because you locked into what you locked into. But it's an altered state. You know what I'm saying? Everything around you don't exist no more. You're locked into a trance.
You're right.
And that's what it is, a form of hypnosis.
And it's also addictive, which is also of the mind. It's another state. It's another state of consciousness is addiction. Because when people go into things that they're addicted to, especially mind-altering drugs, it takes you to a whole nother place, takes you to another state of consciousness. They might be running from something, some type of pain, mental pain, or something like, most of the time it's mental pain, which causes people to get on drugs. And you heard about people who did crack. And the reason why they stayed on it was because they never got that altered state of mind from the first hit. Never got it again. So they kept chasing. They call it chasing the ghost. And they kept chasing, and they never got that first high. That's because it hit you in such a different way, and it caused a euphoria that you probably would never reach again. All of those things cause euphorias. This is why we have addictions. Right,
drug and alcohol, psychedelics. You know, no things take you into, like, especially you see that with Jimi Hendrix, man. When that dude, man, used to do his thing, man, he said it though.
Yeah.
Man, he goes somewhere else in his mind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You think about certain musicians and artists that have to get drunk or get high to come up with some of their best material.
ODB was one.
Yeah, Old Dirty Bastard was one of them. He had to get high. It's like when he tried to do music and he was sober, it didn't sound the same. You could tell he wasn't himself. You know what I'm saying? He was a real drunken master. That's
You
crazy,
know what?
right?
Actually,
Yeah, that's what he's called himself, the drunken master. You know, he was a true drunken master. Reading novels, reading romance novels.
Okay,
How many people read a romance
I
novel?
had an addiction to that as a young woman. We ain't even gonna talk about that, but the whole different situation going on with my relationship back then. You know, I wasn't with him, and you know, I was in another place, so the books would take me someplace else. You know,
Right.
it kind of would take you where you want to be. So yeah, I was addicted to those for a minute there too.
But it's an altered state.
It is
because you actually see yourself as the character in that.
You want to know why? See, altered state of mind starts off from the time your brain develops because of the simple fact that it's imagination is the greatest thing a child or an adult can hold on to.
That's right.
Adults, do not lose your imagination. Do not lose your imagination. Find something that will relax you. You might not be able to do the things that you did as a child.
That's right.
But these things, like, for instance, a book, if you're reading and you're into your book, you can, I'm laughing at
Jay, you funny, Jay.
about the rice. You can actually understand where this place is. You see it in your mind. That's
Right.
your imagination. You see the colors. You can smell the flowers. You can see. You can hear the music. You can hear everything. You can see everything that this book is that you're reading. Once you can comprehend those words, music does the same thing.
Yeah.
You ever have a song and you can literally walk through this song in your mind? I have had certain, like you love some songs, but there are some songs that will hit you and you can literally see
Right.
yourself playing this out, the words to the
Right.
song.
Right.
You know?
Right. Wow, that's crazy.
Altered state of mind.
Alter state of consciousness. You know what I'm saying? And in return, what you're doing, because once you build on them thoughts, or you build on that state of mind long enough, because remember I said where thought goes, energy flows. The more energy you put into it, the more real it becomes. Especially here in this illusion that we in, or this third dimension. You know what I'm saying? And praying is another state of an altered consciousness.
Right.
And most people hear praying and they automatically think, you know, the church and things like that. Nah, we talking about something beyond that, because what you're doing, you're using the power of vibrations and the power of words
Praying
to bring
is
forth a
also
change.
a form of meditation. It should be.
Right, it's the same as an affirmation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you're praying, like I said, you're using the power of words, the power of vibration. You're speaking in rhythms, highs and lows. You talk about that all the
Talked
time.
about that,
you know how
in the video.
What's the degree about the pastors when they talking
Right, that's
in
what I was
rhythms?
talking about. Oration, and it is crescendos that they hit. Crescendos is a term that they use in music, where it talks about hitting certain points, high points and low points to a song. And we, like I said, pastors, ministers, they have mastered that. And they will literally put you in a trance if you're not careful. Just like people know what they're doing when they're dealing with orators. Quiet storms come on at night. You understand? It's the nighttime. It's time to unwind. Put your kids to bed. You know, kick up your feet or put your legs up. I don't know, whatever whatever you're going to do. But I'm just saying, it puts you in that mind, and then you ever notice the people when they talking and they sound like this and you know, they doing all that.
What's your man name? What's the dude with the voice? He used to do the radio up in New York. What's your man name?
You talking about Frankie Crocker?
Yeah, Frankie Crocker.
Frankie Crocker had that voice.
Like he had. I got that voice.
I told him he should have did radio.
Yeah, I could do the Quiet Storm, man.
He could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get cute on the damn video now. Come on now. But anyway, like, you know, they get those men with the nice deep voices, and you know the women, you know, they talking on so, and they know what they're doing. It's an altered state of consciousness, and it takes you there. Then they play the music, and it really puts you in a certain type of mood.
Right.
Okay.
Like I say, most of the time, like I know a lot of times, like working at night. Once I get off, man, I don't want to hear no rah rah, man. I put on some I might put on the Quiet Storm on my way home, and you know, you hear those songs, those ballads and things like that. It's like driving in the car. It's like you tune everything out.
This is why
you really do tune everything out, man.
Smooth jazz.
Yo, jazz,
jazz.
But I'm saying jazz is pop. You got to think about music though, man, and instruments though.
Yeah.
Instruments wasn't used from an entertainment purpose originally. They was for healing the body.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? You could tap into certain chakras from the certain keys and notes that you hit with musical instruments. We talked about it last week. We was talking about like a bembe.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Or altered state of consciousness when it comes to that. When they say that Orisha come down and claim his child. You know what I'm saying? Or the thing of a possession.
Yeah.
What people got to understand, you know, because don't let Hollywood spook you out with possession, because you would actually think about some demon or devil, the exorcist and all this and that. Actually, a lot of us have walkthroughs. I don't know where that came from, but a lot of us have walkthroughs. But the thing is,
we'll explain that.
Possession, right, is to be taken over by something as they will make you to believe. But what it is a higher state of consciousness that you tap into, where you're not only like putting out energy, but you're receiving information. You know what I'm saying? You open. It's the same thing as catching the Holy Ghost in church and shouting and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you look at them people there and they're shouting Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. You look at them in the face, they don't know you.
They have a whole blank
until they come down off their high. Right? They have a blank look on their face.
Half of the time they don't remember. Just like in Bembe,
Right.
they don't know what happened.
Right.
They can't tell you. And they probably got bruises and all kind of stuff on them.
Right.
They don't know what the heck happened.
Bembe, man, you'll end up eating something.
Right.
End up eating something you say you'll never eat.
Right.
You're being chewed a cigar.
Right.
A lit cigar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you might swallow. You know what I'm saying?
You might.
So that's the thing. So you can't be getting spooked out about possession according to Hollywood, because of the thing that is a altered state or a higher state of consciousness that you also tap into. Chanting and mantras. Remember, you gave me the mantra that I was doing for Shiva every morning.
Yep.
Right. I gotta find that, by the way. But I felt a whole lot protected when I used to do that mantra. Now the thing is, when you're doing like affirmations, chanting, praying, and mantras and things like that, it's like whenever you have a new thought, or you have a new thought, an atom is created. Now also, you know this because you was in the medical field. Whenever you have a new thought, neural pathways are created within the brain,
Yes,
right?
Yes, it is.
And they're very weak, but the more you build or say that same prayer, mantra, or whatever you choose to say, those words that's very similar, if not the same, as long as you keep saying them, the more stronger those neural pathways become. They become strong, and you know, it takes about 2 or 3 days for them to become real strong. But once you do it, you can actually create that reality you want. So I'm saying that because, like, going back to certain like rituals, right? Certain rituals require you to say like your petition. If you write a petition for 7 days or however days, or depending on whatever type of ritual you do, because the more you say it, the more you reinforce it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some might call for you to stand in front of your, especially with 7-day candles. Rituals, you know what I'm saying? You might be required to stand in front of that candle for 7 days and speak those same words over and over, but each day that you say it, it becomes stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's the science with affirmation. You need to say it over and over so it becomes stronger.
Yes.
Get it tight and right, as my supervisor say. You know what I'm saying?
And this is why I do affirmations with you guys every Sunday in the group. I try to come up with an affirmation for the week, not for the day. That's something you're supposed to practice for the whole week. Okay?
Right. You know about this? Being deprived of sleep will take you into an altered awareness or altered state of consciousness. When you're tired, right, and you're not getting no sleep, it's real easy to blank out or zone out.
Yeah, you can sleep with your eyes open and go into a whole nother realm doing that too.
Right, I've done that in the car before. I had to snap out of it. You know what I'm saying? But being deprived of sleep is very important.
Yeah.
If you're not getting enough sleep, you this and that. And another thing about sleep, when your mind is fully awake, you know what I'm saying, but your body is tired, you will astral plane.
You're going up.
I've done it. Believe me.
You're going out.
Yeah, you're going up and going out.
And just prepare for it. And you already know what's going to happen. And just relax and see where you go. You're not going to go far. You have an umbilical cord from your, spirit to your crown chakra. So you're not going to go anywhere. And that's what meditation is too. That's what yoga is. Yoga is about the umbilical cord from the crown chakra to the spirit. So you can travel in other ways and you can hit other realms. That's what yoga is all about. That's what yoga is all about. And this is why they tell everybody you can't just jump into this. You have to be mentally prepared. You have to be spiritually prepared. You have to be physically prepared for all of this stuff, because you have to have it all together in order to start meditating. Meditation is not something that you just sit down and do. This is why most people can't clear their minds to do it. They're not prepared. You can't cook a meal without the preparation of the food first.
Right.
And then you put it in the oven or you put it on top of the stove, and then you present it to whoever's going to eat it.
Yeah, most people have trouble with that monkey. You gotta, and it take a couple of minutes. You know, the thing is, but when you really get to the point and lock in, you could quiet that monkey and sit him to the side, because that monkey, man, he just jumping around in your head and your mind. He got his little hands and he picking all at you and this and this and that, and he just this and this and that.
Yep.
That thing is, but once you, I mean, give it about two or 3 minutes, you can get that monkey under control, and then you can lock in onto what your point of focus thought is for meditation. Go ahead.
Now, what I was going to say,
your thought, right.
because he hit the nail on the head. It starts with breathing.
That's right.
gotta-
Everything does.
You know what? There was no such thing as painkillers unless it was a plant or something back in our day. So what most people would do, and I've tried it and I've done it, and I'm telling you, it has worked for me. Cleansing breaths. When a woman is in labor, if you've ever gone to labor classes before you had your baby, they explain to you about cleansing breaths. You breathe in through your nose, you hold it, do not clench, do not bend anything, be relaxed, breathe in through your nose, hold it, and let it out through your mouth. This is because the oxygen will go to whatever is paining you. This is why pain is mind over matter. You have a headache? Don't try to take nothing yet. Concentrate on getting the pain away. You breathe, you hold your breath, do not clench, just have everything straight. Breathe, relax, hold it, and breathe out your mouth. And do that a few times. And I guarantee you that pain will subside. And then drink some water, because that's oxygen in the bloodstream too.
Bloodstream, that's right.
Water.
And what that does, that clears out all the bad stuff that shouldn't even be in you. When you breathe, you know what I'm saying, you're sending good blood through the body to circulate, pushing out all the bad. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a chain of events going on with healthy breathing. But you want the right and proper environment for breathing. You know what I'm saying? Somebody will be like, well, what God do you pray to? What God you know? You know what I'm saying? The first God that you're going to pray to, the first God that you knew was breathing. Real talk. You can go without eating. You can go without drinking. You can go without sex. You can go without a lot of things. But you can't go seconds without breathing. You'll drop dead. Hands down. Breathing is most important of all things.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Of all functions. If you're not breathing, you're messed up. That's why environment is so important.
Because what's the first thing it cuts the oxygen off to? The brain.
The brain, right. If your brain, you can't think, you can't function right.
It cuts the brain off, and then once the brain shuts down, it's a domino effect. And it's gone. You're done. You understand? And everything is an alternate consciousness. Everything is.
Right. Another form is hypnosis.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm a skeptic. I'm a skeptic. I just don't believe it.
I think it can happen, because look at the mindset that people up under today.
I believe.
You know what I'm saying?
I believe that some people can
look at TV. Look at Love and Hip Hop.
Oh, okay.
And how many people go out there and their life actually become what they see on TV? You telling me that's not a form of hypnotism?
Yes, you are. Because side chicks do be winning.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hypnosis is real, man. Like, yo, but what hypnosis is supposed to be is like it opens the mind to the power of suggestions. It's a positive thing. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, you know, we live in a world where you got to deal with good and bad, and you know, you got people that's going to do right, you got people that's going to do bad. And like I say, it's a hammer. You could build a destroy with it, and you got a lot of people here in this carnal plane that want to destroy. So the thing is, with hypnosis, through suggestions, you could put positive thoughts and positive words and into people that'll play out in their attributes. But at the same time, the negative side flip of that coin is that you could be hypnotized by by something negative that you watching on TV. I'm gonna go back to that. And the thing is, you watch it so much that it actually becomes your life because it's buried in you subconsciously. You know what I'm saying? When you like what about the people that want to watch soap operas all day, and their life end up being like one big giant soap opera.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
The
Just
drama.
drama. You know what I'm saying? If you find out you got like, I hear a lot of people talk about, oh, I got drama in my life. I got drama. Well, I'll be like, well, what do you do on your downtime? What do you watch on TV? Oh, I watch this, and this is all those shows filled with drama.
But you have to have, just like hypnosis. You're right. Hypnosis is really about somebody who wants to be claimed by somebody else telling them what to do. I think that's why I'm a skeptic, because I don't believe in giving over control of my mind to somebody else. I just don't. But what I believe is, like you said, yeah, you're right. Because you can, it's suggestive. Let me just say it like that. TV is suggestive. And you can watch some of this stuff, but once it goes off, guess what? It's off. And that's it. And keep going. You know what else is?
A lot of people, because that stuff is buried in the back of their mind.
But you know what, though? They want to live that way. They want, subconsciously, this is what they want.
Life imitating art.
Right.
Art imitating life. Or, you know, whichever way you call it.
And another thing that will alter your consciousness is anger. Anger will alter your consciousness. All of these different types of mental setbacks, because I'm not going to call them all emotions, because there's only two emotions, and that's love and fear. Anger, sadness, these are setbacks. And when you're dealing with anger and sadness, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to deal with these things. I'm just saying, deal with it, feel it, deal with it, control it, move on.
Nullify it.
That's it. That's all you can do. And that's why I say just deal with it. You feeling that way, that's fine. Guess what? Somebody else is not going to be able to help you with it. It's for you to deal with, whether somebody else pissed you off or not.
Yeah, don't hold on to it. Because, like, you know, as humans, we go through highs and lows of emotions all day. You know what I'm saying? You could be mad one minute and glad the next.
Right. But you should be. You should be. You shouldn't be.
I remember. I didn't mean to cut your
day.
wisdom, but I remember. Y'all gotta pardon me on this one. This is funny though. I remember like, cause I grew up a lot with my grandparents, and I remember calling myself being mad. So her comeback was, "Well, you better scratch your ass and get glad."
She sure
You're
would.
mad, scratch your ass and get glad. She still say that.
She still say that.
She'll say, "Let the door hit you with a good little split."
She still say that.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you think I laugh at it, but the thing is, you think about it, like
it is
we go through highs and lows. We go through a swing of emotions all day. You know what I'm saying? So it's really not of importance for you to be hanging on something negative or something crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? Another altered state of consciousness would be what I said. I said to sleep. Sexual euphoria.
Okay. See now we talking about some stuff. Okay. I will be able to explain to y'all seriously. We had talked about this, and like I said, I swear we're going to do a show on sex magic one day. But that is also, if it's not just done for physical release, because if it's just done for physical release, don't even listen to me, because you ain't going to get it. But once you have a partner that you can connect to on a spiritual level, and I ain't talking about just you feeling them spiritually. I'm talking about it's a connection. Okay, because it still can be one-sided.
Right, emergence.
But once it merge, you are in a whole different place. I'm telling you.
Right, like nothing else outside of that time and space exists for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Unless your phone ring and kids knocking at the door and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But you're in another place in your mind. It's like you tapped in, like you're in a whole different dimension.
Right.
You're in a whole different realm. You know what I'm saying? That's why spiritual practices or sexual practices like Kama Sutra and Tantra is very important. Especially with the Tantra thing, because of the merging of masculine and feminine energy. Well, you're actually becoming one. You know what I'm saying? You're exchanging energy. You know what I'm saying? You're exchanging energy from top to bottom, from bottom to top. It's your exchange. This is what sex is. It's really pretty much an exchange of energy.
You know what you reminded me of when you were doing this? You ever see snakes?
Right.
When they're mating?
Right.
They intertwine. And
Right, intertwining.
they're all connected.
To
Seriously,
the point
it's
where they would
like,
actually look like one snake at one point.
It
Right.
is. It is the most sensual stuff I will ever. I'm serious. It's sensual as hell.
Right.
I'm dead serious. Like, you really gotta watch it if you're not squeamish of snakes. But it's take your mind out of the fear
Right.
and watch how nature does things. Seriously, it is very, very sensual. This is why a lot of women find snakes as being very sexual. They find them powerful, sexually powerful. Absolutely.
Wow, that's crazy. And that's the whole. I know we did in the group we had put up on. I think it was Deity Fridays. I put up the picture of
Shakti and Shiva.
Shakti and Shiva, right? And it was like you seen like half and half. Excuse me. Excuse me. And what it represents is balance. It brings a sexual balance to a relationship because, like I say, every relationship is a entity of its own. It's a living entity of its own. It's a balance of energy. And I mean, it ain't hard to explain, but I think people got the wrong concept, a misconception about it. You know what I'm saying? I think society has duped us into being so physical that, like I said this last week, we totally neglect the spiritual attributes, the spiritual aspects of everything, man. And I think that's where we go wrong first, because at the beginning of the day and the ending of the day, we're spiritual beings having a human experience, point blank. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to get caught up in the physical because we live in a physical reality, but it's an illusion. It's Maya. It's not real. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, man, I threw my train of thought off, man, because spirit would take me off, and I'm trying to keep it on subject, but it's a lot of stuff becoming. One way to keeping it on track with the altered state of consciousness. One of the easiest ways to do that with the altered state of consciousness, to get into that, is to actually observe your ego from the aspect of your higher self, or from the aspect of the essence mind, from the aspect where you're watching your ego. Your ego as far as who you think you are, what you believe your job title is, you know what I'm saying, what you believe you own.
Got to step
Things like
outside
that.
of yourself.
What you're doing, you're stepping outside of yourself. You know what I'm saying? To look at your ego. To kind of like simplify that, it's like looking at your reflection in the mirror.
Right.
You being the higher self, or you being the essence mind, you're looking, what you see reflecting back to you in the mirror is actually the ego. That's one way of doing it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So one way to control the ego, or control like that aspect of your mind that you pretty much want to, you know, get under control, because you want your higher self to always govern your lower self, right?
Right.
You don't never let your lower self run wild. You always got to keep that higher self in control. Don't let it try to govern. Don't let the lower self govern the higher self. Let me say that.
Even if you let it out the gate for a little while,
Right.
you still got to have a leash
Right,
on it.
but still, and the thing is, you got to bring balance with that. You know what I'm saying? You never let the lower self just run ragged. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, from the aspect of the higher self, or the essence mind, you have to always keep an observation on your ego. And that's one of the easiest ways to tap into an altered state of consciousness. For those who are into ritual work, once again, because I like giving tips on rituals, the things that help me out. A lot of times when I do my ritual work and I'm in the point where I'm saying my affirmation, or I'm speaking out my words, or reading from my petition, using the power of attraction and thought and mind and all that, and visualization, what I'm actually doing is visualizing myself actually doing the work.
Right.
So what I'm doing from the state of the higher mind, I vision my ego that's actually got hands-on doing the spiritual work. You know what I'm saying? And it's from the aspect of the higher mind that gives power, that gives push, that gives ashe to what you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To make that work for you.
Right.
It gives you that power to your ritual, man.
Right.
And because remember, we live in a mental universe. We live in our minds first before you live anyway, like I said earlier.
Being the age of Aquarius, everything is mental. Everything is mental.
Everything
if you
is
are
mental.
weak mentally, you're not going to survive this.
Right. Like they said in sports. I know coming up playing sports, we used to say like what basketball was like 10% physical and what's that? 90% mental. You know what I'm saying?
The art of war is mental.
Riding a bike is mental. What they say about the bee? They're saying if you analyze the bumblebee, right, looking at the wingspan of the bee, it's no way possible in physics that a bee should be able to fly. But the reason why he could fly, because he believed that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I always tell people, you will never achieve nothing physically unless you convince yourself mentally that it could be done.
Right.
I don't care what it is. And that might sound like it's far-fetched, but somebody will be like, all right, well, some go outside and fly in the sky. At one point in time, people on this planet, vibration was on that level. But you got to remember, we're in a low vibration. This is the lowest of vibration of time on this planet right now. People ain't where people were thousands of years ago. I'm sorry, that ain't happening.
Nope.
We too carnal. We too carnal. We out of control, man, and we done lost our damn minds.
And
Real talk.
The kids are running the house. You don't
Right.
You don't negotiate with no kid. I don't negotiate with two people, kids and terrorists. We ain't doing it. We ain't doing it. But it doesn't make sense.
Right, right.
You understand? You're not gonna run me in here. But that's alpha female. But see, that's my alter consciousness.
Right.
That's my alter ego. You understand? I'm an alpha female. That's just what I am. That's all I'm a be.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
That's who I see myself as every day.
I am. Right.
Because I'm not a child anymore. So every day I have to wake up and I'm going to be that woman. And I'm going to be that woman in my atmosphere. I'm not bullying anybody, but my altered state of consciousness is I'm not conforming to an environment. It's going to conform to me.
Well, you know, I had an elder one time. He saw me. He said, I know it was summertime, and I know I had like on one of my work shirts or whatever. And the elder was like, what kind of hood you got on? What kind of hood you wearing today? And I'm like, man, it's like 90 degrees out. What you talking about a hood for?
Right.
And, you know, he'd be speaking in, you know, symbolic codes and things like that. So what happened was I had to think about what he said. And in life, we're going to wear 3 hoods. You should wear 3 hoods in life. Childhood, adulthood, and God and Goddesshood. So he was like, which hood you wearing?
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? That's a good point. So
that reminds me of what my grandmother used to tell me. She said there's different hats you wear as a woman. Even though I was a young girl, so she would say as a young lady, you know, there's different hats that you wear. You understand? In school, you're a student. At home, you're somebody's child. Or if you're an adult, you're either somebody's mother or somebody's wife or somebody's girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or whatever. Or if you don't have anybody, that's not the point. You go to work, you're an employee. If you own a business, you're the boss. There's hats that you wear. There's certain behaviors that you are supposed to display in certain environments. You're not supposed to be the same everywhere you go. Because regardless, even though I said, I'm an alpha female and all that stuff, there's still a respect that comes with that when I'm in other environments. Like, I don't walk into his grandmother's house and display alpha female in her house. I walk in her house with respect for her because this is her home. You understand? So when I'm in her home, I am now a guest in somebody's house.
With different hats.
You got to wear different hats. I can't go ghetto someplace where everybody's wearing white. You understand?
That's crazy.
And when I'm in a hostile situation, I can't be prey.
That's right.
There's different hats that you wear. Everybody is not adapted to that. And that's why this world is carnal too, because everybody want to be the same way all the time, and they don't realize that there's different personas that are displayed in different environments and different atmospheres.
Wow.
So that's when he said, what hood you wearing? That's what made me think about what my grandmother said. What hat are you wearing today? Who are you today? In fact, you ain't even got to wear the same hat all day. You're supposed to interchange your hats throughout the day.
Right. Some people never got out of childhood. They still got the childhood on their head. You know what I'm saying? Some people never made it to adulthood.
Some people wear falsehood.
Well, some people think make it it's like a thing of respect to be hood. You know what I'm saying?
Hood, right.
I'm from the hood. Well, what hood you from? Childhood or adulthood or godhood, which you should make it to at some point of your life.
You got to reach there sometime.
Or something that you should tap into.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No judgment.
Nah.
No judgment, because I mean, hey, if that's where you at, enjoy it.
Yeah, but some people are stuck in their second childhood, and you gotta think that's like a frame of mind that has them.
You hold on to your youth, not your childhood. There's a difference.
Right.
You know, there's a difference.
You hold on to your youth and not your childhood.
Right.
That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. Be youthful. Don't be childlike. Don't be immature, but be youthful. Youthful is living. You can't get old and still not live. You still gotta dance. You still gotta laugh. You still gotta do things that's still fun.
Right.
But I'm not saying be childish.
You're not saying be trying to dress like the young kids and have your pants hanging off your ass.
That's a whole different thing. Listen, I got daughters and I'm not competing with them. They're in their 20s. I done been there, done that, and as far as I'm concerned, they need to come on up to my level. I ain't trying to be competing with these kids. I ain't doing it.
Right, that's why there's some people stuck in their second childhood, man. They can't get out of that.
It's not even the clothes. I don't even mind the clothes and the hairstyles. I mean, you want to run around with pink wigs on.
It's psychological, right?
Yeah, it really. I mean, hey, that's on you. What I'm saying is behavior patterns.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Grow up.
Psychological thinking and psychological effects that lead to behavior patterns. That's right. Grow up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a big difference.
Excuse me.
It is.
Wow. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
But altered states of consciousness. Back to the spiritual thing, because this is a spiritual group and I like to keep up with the rituals and things like that, but tell you how ways of doing it. One thing that I did see, like in Tantra study, that you can apply to like ritual work is that whenever you're doing certain rituals and invoking certain entities or certain deities, you can actually get into the state of mind where you become the entity or the deity.
Absolutely. Again, like a bembe.
Like a bembe. Yeah, you're right.
But that's just one way of doing it. Everybody is not Ifa or Santeria. So
right, it's just one way of doing it.
But there's also things that you can do to enter different states. Crystal quartz. You can sleep with one. You can sleep with it. He has one on a chain that he sleeps with. It's huge. Or you can sleep with it under your pillow. You can bathe with these things. You can put them in the tub with you. You can use all of these different things to take you into different consciousness.
Even sun gazing or moon gazing, right?
Sunstones, moonstones.
Anything to take you out to that normal or waking state that you're in of your everyday life. You know what I'm saying? Anything that'll put you in that zone. You know how you get certain athletes, they have a great game. They be like, yo, I was in the zone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That even attribute to like, for those who might be like artists and like to illustrate things, right? Yeah. I know for me, because I like to illustrate. A lot of times I'll be sketching something and nothing else exists around me. I'm in an altered state. You know what I'm saying? I'm in that zone. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I snap at it. By the time I look at it, some time and hours and went by.
But,
you know what I'm saying?
That's also doing something you love.
It's therapeutic.
They say if you do something right, therapy can also take you into the altered consciousness state of mind, because you're doing something that is comforting. Right.
I know a brother that was very heavy on the club life. He was very popular with the women. Everybody liked him. He was a fly dude, and with that, you got envy and jealousy and hate that comes with that lifestyle. And this brother in the club had sat his drink down, went off dancing with some women, and he came back. Somebody had put something in his drink, and he drunk that. This brother was never the same ever again. His mind is gone. Who he was and who we know is gone. You see this brother now, he out on the corner
talking to himself.
Man, talking to himself, this and that. It's like he's somewhere else. He is physically, but mentally he's somewhere else.
Trauma can do that to somebody too, and just take them out of their own existence and put them in a whole nother place. And next thing you know, they're not who they used to be.
Wow, but think about the people that say neurotic.
Yeah.
Neurotic.
Yeah,
where you actually like live within your own self.
Oh,
and
you're
escape.
talking. You're talking about.
I'm thinking about something.
It is a neuroticism that
Okay.
you're talking about. You're talking about schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia.
Now, schizophrenia, I tell people all the time. One day I was on a train with an old friend of mine, and there was this guy, he was just talking to himself, having a long conversation. I was just looking at him. Seriously, he was just going back and forth, but he would pause, he would listen, and he would speak. He would pause, he would listen, and he would speak. And she looked at me, and she said, I can't believe he's talking to himself. I said, he is not talking to himself. I said, I was young. I had to be about 15. I said, this dude is not talking to himself. Somebody is talking to this man. He is not crazy. But y'all will tell this man he's crazy and put him on medications. This man he was talking to somebody. You understand? Spirits will come to you and take you to a whole nother place of consciousness. And make you forget where you at. And you're having a full-blown conversation with them. Not realizing you can speak to them through your mind.
Right.
But you're having a full-blown conversation with
But that's like existing in two parallel universes at the same time.
Two paradoxes.
Two paradoxes at one time. It's like he's here, but he can be here and somewhere else at the same time.
To me, if you ask me, it's talent. I swear it is.
Right, because in another parallel universe, he could be right there having a conversation with somebody.
That's just like in Africa when the elders get dementia or Alzheimer's. They don't throw them away. They sit down and when they speak, they listen to them because they're in a whole nother place. They're in a different state of mind.
Right, you got to think about that.
They're in another realm.
Dementia, dimensions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Alzheimer's. You know what I'm saying?
They're in a whole nother realm.
In a whole different place, man. For real.
That's why what they're saying don't make sense to me.
Right.
My mom time traveled. She went backwards. She went back to her childhood. With her Alzheimer's. It took her back. And she literally got into her own time capsule and traveled backwards. Because you notice...
My earring is so she hears somewhere.
Right. When your grandmother went into her altered state of mind through Alzheimer's, it wasn't the same as when my mom had
she went forward.
She went forward. I mean, she was in a bubble. Let's put it like that. That woman never forgot me. She saw me once and never forgot who I was. And I was somebody more recent in her life. You understand? I was somebody more recent, but she never forgot me.
Wow.
So she lived in a bubble in her Alzheimer's. My mom went in the time machine and said, I'm out. I'm going back here. You know, she probably has some unfinished childhood business.
Right. And we saw that come out a couple times.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. So that's what I'm trying to tell people now. Like all those mental blockages or the emotional heartaches and things that you're holding on to subconsciously, you want to get that dealt with and get it out the way right now, or you will be forced at some point in time
to
come back and deal with it, because the pendulum, like I say, will eventually swing back that way. The tide is going to go out. Guess what? The tide is going to come in. You will have to deal with it. So the thing is, go ahead and get rid of it, get it nullified, get it resolved. You know what I'm saying? Get it taken care of now, because you want to deal with it down the line where you might not be able to physically be in the best position to deal with that situation.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Even though your mom was in the perfect health.
Right.
She was in perfect health.
She was in perfect health.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just
but
her mind.
in her age, I mean, dealing with that at her age, you know, took its toll. You know what I mean? So you gotta be careful with that. With the mind, man, the mind is very precious. As powerful, like I say, as powerful as the mind is, it's still very fragile. And once you break the mind, that's it. It ain't no coming back. What was that? It was a movie, but it was a book we had to read. Remember the girl was crippled? They made us read it in the school. The girl, she had like a disability. And I remember she had some like a little glass unicorn or some kind of little glass thing. And whatever happened, it broke. And I remember trying to piece it back together or whatever like that. I try to equivalent that to the mind. Like the mind could be broken and you could kind of bring it back, but it'll never be the same like it was.
You might be missing a few shards, even if it's the smallest detail.
Yeah.
Shards are hard to find, you know.
And think about it. That's why we're going through with our people right now, Asiatics. You know what I'm saying? Because mentally, spiritually, and even physically, we have been broken. But our condition that we're going through is psychological. You know what I'm saying? We're going through a psychological issue.
Right.
Post-traumatic slave syndrome. That's real deal. That's why we carrying ourselves the way we do today. You know what I'm saying? We separated from culture. We don't know who we are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We confused.
We're
We think
seeing
we
stuff
niggas, and we proud to be
socially.
niggas.
We're proud to be niggas.
We real niggas. That's like a title of being noble, a real nigga.
It's a term of endearment.
A term of endearment to be a real nigga. No, you're not a nigga. You're a real nigga, but you wasn't intending on being a nigga. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say our situations are psychological.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why, you know, the way we've been told to, oh, just forget about it, that was in the past. You can't forget psychological hurts and harms like that. That's not going to happen because we never was really taught how to deal with the situation. You know what I'm saying? From the plantation to having to do for ourselves, just go out there and work.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We was never taught how to deal with the psychological effect of things that we went through slavery.
So what we end up doing is from the trauma, we alternate, we alter our state of mind and our consciousness, and you know, we end up living in a bubble.
Right.
Living in a bubble. You know. It happens.
Think about the what?
She won't move. Wrap it up.
Yeah. We're gonna get ready to wrap it up. There's many things you could do to alter your mind or to get into that altered state of consciousness as far as like changing and creating the reality that you want, but it's always done from here first. Everything starts in the mind. The mind is the cause, the physical result is the effect. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you see, that you can touch physically, that you can taste, that you can smell and all this, it all started here in the mind first.
And watch your intentions.
Yeah, watch your intentions.
And watch your attention.
Wow.
Because your attention, you know, where you're putting your attention, you have to deal with that later on through your intentions. Be careful with that.
That's right, because a man's ideas is a man's God.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? They say, you know, as a man unfolds, so that his God. You know what I'm saying?
And then that becomes your kingdom.
Right. Be careful who you give power to and what you give power to. In other words, be careful where you give all your mental energy to, because that will become God over you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people out here say, yeah, I believe in God. I'm this and this and that, this and that. I'm saved. I'm this and this and that. But you spend your last dime on a drink. You spend your last dime on a piece of tail. You know what I'm saying? You spend your or some get high. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that's your God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's your God. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be careful where you send your mental energy to. And the thing is, stay focused and safeguard your mind. Because like I say, once the mind is going, that's it. You might be able to put bits and pieces back together. You know what I'm saying? But it'll never be like what it was in the beginning.
Unless you rebuild and make it a whole different structure.
Right.
You can rebuild and make a different structure. It don't have to be the same.
Right. Right.
But it's about rebuilding.
But that's an alchemical process right though. That's transformation. That's alchemy. So on that note, we're going to close down because I got to get up and get ready for work. I got to let my monkey mind take back over.
Peace, everybody. Y'all have many blessings.
Peace.